Okay, so now we are going to repeat this page of so it's the pattern paper. It has a flap going up like that. It has some photos at the bottom here. I have some photo mats that I will add in a bit. And then the back of the page has this like a ticket, a little note, and a flap, again a flap like that, and a photo mat at the back. So we're going to kind of replicate what I've done here. So here's my base page. Okay, this is the one that's going to go, so this one will be my front, and this will be the front of this one. So I want to do what's going on here, I want to do at the back. So I'm going to flip it like that. So I'm going to repeat this on the back here. So in this one I've used little reinforcers. I think that I would like to use the dot. We'll see now. We're going to put it together and see how it's going to work. Probably not. It does. I think we're going to have to go with the little reinforcers. And I have this flap. I want to create a flap like with that. And I would like to use this one as the flap like that. So I can't really use the dot. I think it's too much dotty on the front here. So we'll have to do away with that. Okay. So I'm just gonna add the little dot reinforcers here maybe, because I don't think that the plain will look nice either to reinforce it. No. So I will make some dots for you. So I'm thinking to have the dots closer to the, like that, and I'm going to put that like that. So on this one, for this hinge, I used washi tape, and for this one, I used the paper, and I hooked it on at the back, and then just hid it with some washi tape, and I'm going to do the same with this one now. Use the scoreboard to just give a little score. I'm going to, it looks like I'm just going to score it at 1/4 inch on my scoreboard. If you're using your paper trimmer, you can just use, make it a 1 centimeter. That'll be sufficient. Turn that, give that over, and I'm just going to turn that over and burnish that. And then just the other thing that I should have checked first and just reminded you, if you're using a pattern paper that has directional pattern on the back here, you need to make sure that it's running from top to bottom, because it's going to look really weird if it's upside down like that. Okay, so fortunately I had already put the dotted paper the right way around. Okay, so that's going to go over like that. Right, so we're going to use some washi tape. Oh, that's going to look really nice. I'm going to use tape to stick this down, and then I'm going to hide the join with some washi tape and make it look like part of the pattern paper. That's actually where I wanted it to be. And you will notice that I have not trimmed the corners of these. I'll explain why now. Okay, I just want to cut off the excess tape over here. Right, so because I want this pattern for this little crossover here to look like it's part of the pattern, I don't want to have that V cut in here, because so that it looks like a joining part of it. So now when I add the washi tape, it can look like I've done some layering on the top here. Okay, so like I said, I'd like to have this one closer to the holes like that. Going to, before I do that, I still want to cut in my V. So to do that, I find the center of the page. So this piece, I forgot to give that to you. This piece measures 9 centimeters by 20.5, and I am going to find the center of my 9, which would be 4.5. Okay, and then from there decide how deep I would like my V to go, and I think 3 looks good. So I'm going to make a mark where the 3 is. Then I'm just going to join from this line to the dot, from the corner to the dot, make a joining line, and do the same here from the corner to the dot, join it like that. and then I can see if it looks like it's going to be right. It is. You can cut it out with a craft knife and ruler, or you can just use your scissors. I normally just wing it. I don't normally measure, but just for in case some of you are not feeling as adventurous, or you always get it skewed, then this is the best way to kind of get it straight. Okay, so I'm going to take the tape backing off here and attach my flap to my background, my base page. Again, because I'm going underneath, I'm going to attach the top of this page slightly away from my fold line. I'm also not measuring, I'm kind of eyeballing where I think it's going to look nice, and as long as it's not going to close the holes, I think that's going to be fine. Okay, so that's attached nicely in place. Maybe I can move it up just a little bit more on this side. There we go. Okay, so once I've got it in place, you can then just burnish that in place nicely like that. And I'm just going to give it a bit of an ink at the top here. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Then I want to add this one in over here, but I'm going to use the washi tape to do that. I'm also thinking to carry on with that ticket feel and to give this an end, just to give the corners a little cut and a little ink. And there we go. So that's going to create another flap like that. So I'm going to use the washi tape to do that. And I think I'm going to use this text one for that. So I'll show you now. I'm not going to have the washi tape run all the way across. I'm just going to take a piece of washi tape. I'm going to attach it to the top of my piece of paper like that. So it's like just like you would attach a sticky note on something like that. Decide exactly where it is I want my piece of pattern to be. Line it up nicely at the top, and then just take my washi tape over. Oops. Okay. Bring it over like that. So now you can see how we are starting to, oh, there it is, create a layered look at the back with what are clustering at the top here. I'll add some more of this washi tape to bring in more, to make it look like it was intentional and it's not actually a construction piece. So that's going to go there. But now to be sure that my flap is not going to go crazy, see it hasn't gone on quite like it should have. So that's the joy of washi tape, is that you can reposition it. It went a bit skew. That's better. Okay, so now I just want to put a piece of washi tape down the middle here, just to help keep it in place, and because obviously I'm going to be lifting up and down, so you just need a little bit more strength for your lever, like that. Okay. So there we have another washi tape hinge. It opens and closes nicely, and you can see there that it's going to cause a problem. So how do we fix that? We just snip it, put that down, and there we go. Okay. Such easy problems to fix, the washi tapes. So I'll come out, we'll get to the back of this in a bit. Right, so that to me looks like it's starting to take shape. So if we compare it to the other side, we have that one going up there, and then this one going up here. And then I have some photos running down the side here. I'm still not 100% sure that I want to put photos. I'm considering leaving this space open for journaling. I don't have to copy exactly what I've done here, but this is just to give me an opportunity to add more things at a later stage. Right, I'm just going to add my gel lines, and then I'll do the back with you in a bit. And there you go. This is still lifting up and down a little bit, but with a little bit of burnishing. You see each time I burnish it, it goes a little bit flatter, and it also laying in the album, it will go flatter. So now we're going to do the front of this one. We're going to copy the back of that one. Okay, so I want to replicate this one, sort of, make it sort of similar. I have my patterns. I have all the little goodies here that I want to use. Okay, so again, I cut out the labeling page for one of our patterns called True Happiness, and I'm going to trim it a little bit, and we're going to pop that up there. So then that kind of adds to the it looks like we've done this on purpose, and I'll also add another piece of washi tape there. Then I took a piece of leftover paper and I just cut out the corners, okay, just to make like a fake ticket, and inked around the edges. This little piece of paper, if you need to know the measurements, if I can find my ruler, which keeps going missing. So if you want the measurements for this, although it doesn't have to be exact, it's 7.5 by 9.5, and I'm going to take a punch and just punch out along the side. So what I normally do is I put it in so that it's more or less centered, punch, and then move the punch to line it up so you can see the pattern there. It goes in the last goodie over here. I think everybody has their own way of doing their things. You've got to do what's easiest for you. I find I get a straight punch every time if I can see what I'm doing, as opposed to trying to shove it in from the front and do it that way. I never get it right. So that's my way. Okay, and then I would take my pencil and then just scuff up the little pieces that we've just punched, so that make it look a little bit more like it was pulled out of a book, out of a notebook. Okay, so just soften them like that. Okay, give it a bit of a roll, and there we go. All right, so there's that and that's going to go in. I'm going to create a photo mat with a tab, and then I'm going to show you how to use paper to create a hinge, and then this is just the back of that. Okay, so like I said, I like my photo mats to be inside. I don't my photos to be on the inside, so that one's going to go in like that. So I'm just going to show you how I created the photo tab. So you need your punch board, and again I just slid this in to where the metal piece is, so just to there, and punched, and then move this piece right up to 10 on the scoreboard, 10 centimeters, and punched. And then just used a craft knife and a ruler to cut off that little excess. You can use your paper trimmer if you want, but I find this works quick and easy, done and dusted. So this one I've made slightly bigger than that one. Okay, this one I put in at 9, this one I've put in at 10. But I don't want them exactly the same. I want to work sort of a little bit. So I want, if you're using a pattern paper that has image on like that, it's going to look silly if I put my photo mat over there. I mean, but if I slide it down so that it looks like the bird is flying out from behind there, the bird then adds a little bit of dimension and interest to my page, and it also then encourages you to have a look what's under. But if we did it so that either the beak or just an eye is sticking out, it's just going to look weird. And that's the same thing with photographs. If you put your things down and there's just like an elbow or knee, it really irks me. Okay, so that's going to go on like that. First thing we're going to do, I've already inked my photo mat. I know that my photo mat, maybe we must put it on last. No, it goes on first. So I'm going to attach my photo mat. So because I know that it's going on the inside, I'm going to attach the photo mat to the back of this. If you're unsure, wait till you've attached this first. And if it ends up on the front, that's also all right. It's no harm in that. It's just my preference. at least it's a full photo that's going to be sticking out, not an arm, a leg, or an elbow, an eyeball, or a nostril. Okay, so that's going to be like that. So this one I want to attach over here. So I need to attach it with my hinge first before I start to build anything on it. Right, so this one, all I'm going to do is score it down the middle. So you can get your scoreboard or your paper trimmer. Mine's way on the other side of the room, so I can't get to it right now. So I'm just going to use my scoreboard. And you're just going to score down the middle. You can even just fold a little piece of paper in half if you want to. But you just want to get that score in the center of your paper. And even if it's a little bit too far over on the one side, like mine is, it's like a little bit, it's fine. My suggestion then is use the bigger piece on your pattern and the shorter piece on your photo mat. So we're going to again use some tape to attach the photo mat to the hinge. I'm going to use glue to attach the hinge to the page. Okay, so we're just going to work that in and attach my hinge to my flap. Okay, so I'm going to bump it up so that it's kind of centered like that. Okay, and then just put my hinge down on top of the photo mat like that. Okay. So this now I will attach my photo mat in place so that I can open it this way. Again, I'm just having it, I have them flapping away from the holes simply because when I open up I would like for my page to lay flat instead of bumping up against the rings in the ring binder in the lever arch file. Okay, so now we need to decide where we want this to be. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back here and just let it get tacky. And while that's drying, I can then carry on with this and this. So I know that I want that to go there, but I don't want it to be that long. So I'm just going to trim a little bit off each end, like that, and like that. Which means that that's going to look good over there. Then that I'm going to just ink the edges and just get a little bit straighter. Like that. And I'm going to mat that onto a little piece of black, some black cardstock, just to make it stand out some more. So this way. And then just cut that out, giving it that little border. So it has a little black mat going all the way around. And I will then attach that. I already know that it's going to work there, so I want it to go there. But before I do that, I just want to add another little piece of washi tape. So I'm going to add the same one that's on the other side. Let's see, we just add it over there, like that. And then have the True Happiness go like that. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Okay, I don't want it to cover too much of the wing for the bird. So it's better then that it go kind of step down like that and slightly. So I've got my layer going on there. I'm not covering the bird's head. And we can just draw lines around the True Happiness. There we go. sure that it's in place. There we go. So I'm still waiting for that to dry. I can then finish up with these little pieces here. Okay. Keep that out of the way. Right, so on this one, I made it look like it was just a whole lot of tickets that have been attached in place. And I'd like to do the same thing here. But again, I'd like to add a little bit of washi tape on the side here. And we can add the same one that we've got on there. I'm just going to tear some washi and stick it over here. It needs to be straight. There we go. Okay, so on this one, I also just put it on randomly. I'm going to put more than one piece on this time. So I'm going to layer it. Layer a little piece over it like that. And then just take it over. And then just give that a good burnish. Then my ticket, my fake ticket, I'm just going to let it go over slightly, and I'm going to use my stapler to staple it on like that, and maybe make it a cross. Okay, and then this is just going to get attached. I'm going to attach this here. You can have it going at a slight angle, you can have it going on straight. But again, I'm considering the bird, and I'm going to have it go off slightly like that, maybe down a bit like that, and I'm going to attach that with the stapler as well, like that. Okay, so just like that, and then I can just add my lines while I wait for the glue to dry. I want that glue to become repositional, so if I make a mistake, it's easy enough for me to move it. There we go. Oh, I forgot one. Okay, I just want to draw like this to make it look more like a page. Okay, so I'm going to attach this in place now. So remember, I want to put it in a way that it shows the bird flying out. I also want it not to hang over my page, and I'd like it at a slight angle. So if I come down just a little bit and over, that to me looks like is the perfect spot for it. I'm not too far over there, and I can then glue that in place like that. And this will open up nicely to show my photo. So I'm just burnishing it and getting that fold line to do its job. I use my scoring tool. So there we've created a nice paper hinge. So we've used a washi tape hinge, and now just a piece of paper hinge that looks really awesome. So do you see the birds flying out? You want to then open up to see what's going on. And then I'm just going to attach this piece on, mat it nicely onto the photo mat like that. Okay. Right, and then I just want to draw lines on my background. Right, so now I can make my little reinforcers. Do I have some scrap? I do. So again, let me show you that one more time. You're going to take a normal hole punch and make a punch, make a hole. It's been a bit of a long day. And then find the center. And again, do that again on the other one. Find the center. And then we can add our little reinforcers. Well, that wasn't smart. Let's do it again. Better. Okay, just a little bit of glue and we can stick them down. See, I think this is going to look better than if we put a solid strip like this over here. And the little dots pick up nicely with the hinge that we've created. So that's perfect for that. So on this side, I think that we are going to do the same, but we will use the plain. Pop that one over there, and then the next one. Right, so that's starting to take some shape. The last thing I want to do quickly is just add the photo mats that I think should go behind here. I was considering putting them here. Let's see if that's going to work. Instead of down here, because like I said, I'd like to leave that open for some journaling. So yes, these photos are 5 by 7. The white mat is 5.5 by 7.5, and the black mat is 6 by 8. So those I think will look quite nice over there. I am not going to add them now. I will add them in later, and that is where my paper clips come in really handy. So I'll just paper clip that like that. So I know later I can come back and do that, because maybe I changed my mind. Okay. And this is also nice for some journaling, or also just adding another photo. I also think it would look nice if we could add some more washi tape to it. So if we just add a little piece of washi, tear it off here as well. See, it's like never ending. You just, every time you have a look, you see something new you could add. So I think it'll look really nice with a little piece of random washi tape stuck like that. Okay, it looks like it's just a bit torn. Right. So you can add some journaling, add some more text. There's lots of things. Okay, so that's that one done. Right, and then that will go. I've taken everything out the album for the moment. But then this is how this is going to go in. So we have page 1 of signature 1, page 2 of signature 1, page 3 of signature 1, and here is page 4. Okay, then on your second signature, there's page 1, page 2, page 3, and now page 4. Okay. Right, so I'm going to add the rest of them quickly, and I don't think we're going to get to embellish everything, but let's see. I think we are running out of some time here, but let's see where we are. So what I want to do is just finish up the things that make them look like partners. Okay, let's see. Right, so for this one, in signature 1, it's going to go that way. In signature 2, we're going to have that. So on signature 1, I said I'm going to do the scallop border. So for this one, I think I'm going to stay with this to look like it's a notebook, torn out of a notebook. And again, I'm going to put it more or less in the middle, punch, take it to the side, and then do the same thing here. There we go. Okay, so, and then that's going to give me like a notebook kind of finish. Right, then we've got the tab one. So for the tag one, I want to do that with you quickly. And then we'll go and we'll put them in where they need to be. Right, so for my tag, all I did was measure. I like to use my mat to do this. You can measure 1 centimeter there and 1 centimeter down and do the same thing, but I find if you put it on your mat and you have it pretty straight and you hold your ruler at an angle and you make sure that your ruler crosses the diagonal of the squares that are on the mat and cut that, then flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Put it in pretty straight. Hold your ruler so that it lays on a diagonal of the squares and just cut from corner to corner. You can create your own little tag. And then to find the center where the hole needs to go, I measure it from that corner to that corner, and there's my 5 is the center. So I make a nice little circle like that. And then we can slip the punch in and make sure that that little pencil mark is in the center of the punch and punch. And then obviously this one is going to need a little reinforcer, and I think we'll stay with the pink on both sides. So we can quickly make another 2 of those. I like to trick myself and put things where I can't find them. So remember, we need 2, 1 for the front and 1 for the back. Like that. You can quickly put them on. Would help if the glue actually came out. Okay, and then I want to create my spines. I think that this one's going to look nice here. And maybe this side as well. Yeah. Okay. So all I'm going to do now is just create, instead of putting reinforcers here, I'm going to reinforce the little holes with some paper. Just make the spine a little bit stronger. So it's going to go on. I need to put the glue over here. All right, so we can just pop that down. And I'm going to put, I think I'm going to stay with the, see if there's enough here. Yes, there is. My glue is running out as well. See? Okay, so then I'm just going to, I'm staying with the pink, the solid pink on both sides. Adding it on like that, making sure it's nice and dry. And then I'm just going to trim off the excess. Remember, I have 2 layers on now, so it's always good to go cut once and cut twice and just keep going till it comes apart instead of trying to put pressure and pull. That's when you're going to cause some damage. So here I'm going to find the center again, which should be 5. Make a mark and punch out my holes. There we go. Just want to ink the edges here. Okay, so I'm just going to put the pages back into the album before I cover it and see where we're at. See if we can make another signature. So I am going to put in page 1. Then there's page 2. I'm working from signature, the first signature, the one that I've used as a reference to embellish the goodies in the second signature. Right. Then we have from there, let's just go find it. We'll have this one. And where's my, this one looks like it's all good, do good over here. So when this one lays over, it'll keep the little flap down, so it creates an illusion. When you pick it up, there's that flap there. And then we need this one in here, and then the tag, and then the pocket. So then we're going to repeat that, putting in all the goodies that we just created with the signature, second signature. So here's page 1 of that. Okay, here's the page 2. Our page 3, page 4 that looks got the flap and looks slightly different. Right. Then from there, I think we put this little flap, and with the one that we've just punched, then we have this one. And then the tag, and then the pocket. And I will fix this by putting on those binding the spine. Right, so to me it looks like we could easily make another signature. I must tell you though that I've already used up most of my pattern paper. I've just got a little bit left for to do the cover with. So if you were going to add another signature, you would either need another pack of paper or start to add a different one. It doesn't have to be the same pattern throughout. So you could change it and have this part as signature 1, signature 3, put signature 2 in and have a different pattern. So you can go from one range, block it off with the different ranges as well. So that's also an idea for you. Right, so I'm going to take everything out very nicely and then quickly show you how I covered my album. Right, so the front of the album is embellished now, and the covers are on, the sides, the back, the insides are done. And I have also added my album pages to the file. I've just taken this out for now. So everything is in here. There are just 1 or 2 little things I'd like to add extra, make some notes about, and there's some things I need to fix. So in the cut apart sheet, there was also this really awesome little like postcard thing, and I think that will look very nice as a front. So it's a good place to start the album, I think. And then we can move it over. Then we have page 1 of the signature. You've seen all of this already with the flapping open and closed. Okay, and then we've got that. And we have this. Okay, and then I have a spare sheet of pattern paper, and I would like to add it in somewhere. So I'm just going through to see where I think that piece will look nice. So maybe we can add it in here. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is make it a tab. So if I can get my envelope punch board, just so that it doesn't look too just like a plain page, we can then make a little tab here. I'm going to show you that how we can easily just add and make little changes to make it look, customize the album perfectly to our tastes or what you need the album to do for you. Okay, so if I can find it, oh there it is. I'm going to just cut that off, and then I'm going to quickly just add a little bit of ink to the bits and pieces that I've done now. I've already gone around the edges everywhere else, and we will have to just add a little bit here. I can also do that a little bit later. So I can add this extra piece in over here. We find the center. Pencil? Or just, oh, there it is. Okay, the center is 20.5, so it'll be 10.25. It'll be about there. And then punch the hole. And then this one can go in over here. So that's how easy it is to add something extra to this way of creating a mini album. Okay. So we've added a little extra here, and instead of putting another one, I've put a little extra here. So I will take it. What's nice is that I can now take this out, I can put it aside, I can embellish it the way I want it to, and then I can put it back. I don't have to worry now that I'm going to mess the album up because we've already done the outside and things like that. So I'm having a look and I'm thinking to myself, I don't actually like it here because of the effect that it's creating there. I don't like little half things to stick out. So possibly I think that it would probably look better here. And yes, that looks better because there's just like notepaper paper sticking out over there. So that one goes over there. Okay, and then again, like this, to me, the layering works really nicely. There's a little bit sticking out. It looks like this whole thing is like a notebook. And then we pick this, can open it up there. So it all looks like a notebooky, and close it and then open like that. And then we have that one you can add to. Right, so these I haven't done. I'll probably do them a little bit later. There are little extras in there. And again, this one also needs a bit of embellishing. And I will probably add something here because I don't quite like that it's just plain and plain. But here we can add another, or maybe that's where that one should go. Okay, so let's see, because I mean this works. It looks quite nice. So let's see here where this little tab now can just break the solid and the solid. So that is going to look quite nice like that. Okay, and then we've got that tag in, and then we have a pocket that we can fill up as well. All right, so before because I'm scared that this one gets messed up, this one that I punched incorrectly, trying to be smart, I am just going to add a border, a plain border on the front and a dotted border at the back. Let's quickly do that so that I know that I'm not going to cause any damage to this page. We'll do it like that. I think that I have come over too far, but it's fine. She'll fix it. Right, so you can put this glue down like that. So I line it up to the bottom and to the sides like that. And then I'm going to do this one at the same time so I can then just cut them off one go. And it doesn't matter if the glue goes a little bit over now because it's just going to stick on that. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to use my craft knife and ruler to trim that off. And remember, there's a rather cut more than once, so keep cutting until you get through. rather than pull hard one time. Right, so there we go. Then I need to find the center, punch the holes, and we'll never ever know that it's actually made a mistake on the actual insert itself. There we go. And in that goes. Oh, wrong way around. It goes this way. There we go. Perfect like that. So now one of the other things that I would do, I'm just going to show you with one, is I would do a little bit of planning. So say for example, like these ones, and I really like this one over here. I have some paper clips off to the side here. I had paper clips off to the side. Oh, there we go. Right. So what I'll do is, say for example, I'm thinking to myself, oh, I would really like to add this piece here. So while I'm busy with things so that I don't forget, I will use the paper clip to add anything I think I might want to use on this particular tag. So there's a tab, there's that one, there's a tab, and I think I might like to add a butterfly there as well. So then I'll leave that like that, because it's easier for me then, once I've put things together like this, to remember what it is I had planned. So I would really like to do one of repeat this this effect on this one here, and I'll put that there to remind me. And then I think for this one here, I wanted to put it in here. Yep, here it is. So for this one, I think I'd like to use this one over here, and I don't know where I put my, there it is. There's my 3. And with that, I think there are some words that I wanted to add to that. So I'm going to go find it. There we go. So I know I want to put the word with it, and then in my little stash, I want to add another butterfly, and I would like to add this arrow with the heart, like that. Okay, so I will keep these things then all together, and when I have a gap, I have enough time to do something little but not enough time to do a big project, then I can just pull this file out. I can take this page and I can quickly get something done in the 10 or 15 minutes that I have available to me, because I've already done all the think work. Okay, so there, with this kind of mini album, you can continuously add stuff, change stuff, and the best part is, if you make a mistake, it's just this that you have to take out and throw away or make a card out of it. It is not the entire album that needs to be redone or fixed or anything like that. Okay, so this is one of my favorite ways to create projects that I can keep adding to. And I mean, it's easy enough to take this out, trim this off, and add it to another proper bound mini album, or to add it to one of your layouts, or just use it as a practice. So you want to see how it's going to look, so you can do a practice run on here before you add it to your actual album or your layout or your card. Right, ladies, so that is the end of the workshop, but definitely not the end of the project. I think I've given you enough homework to keep you busy for a while. This little way of creating an album, I think, can keep us busy for hours and days. I hope that you've enjoyed the project. I hope that it's inspired you to look at lever arch files in a brand new way. Please feel free to share the projects that you complete on Facebook. If you are reluctant to share your stuff on Facebook, you are more than welcome to send me a private message, just for me, so that I can have a little look at the things that you've done. Thank you very much for each person that participated this weekend. I thank you for your time, and I thank you for your generous donations to the SPCAs and animal shelters in your area. Have a fantastic weekend, ladies, and we will chat again soon. Thank you for watching.